Hi, my name is McKenzie Fountain. My preferred pronouns are she/her. I'm from Sugar Land, Texas, and I am a UT Petroleum Engineering graduate of 2018. I currently work for Shell as a well site operations engineer. What that means is that I work on a drill ship. I do a rotation schedule of 3 weeks on and 3 weeks off at a time. When I'm on the rig, I design and execute deepwater wells, and I serve as kind of a liaison between the engineers in the office and the operations crew offshore. Some of my day-to-day tasks include I create the operational timeline that is used both by Shell and by our service providers to plan the movement of personnel, equipment, materials, anything that we might need to make sure that everything's on the rig on time. I also write the daily report on rig operations that is distributed to Shell leadership every morning. I manage the safety and regulatory documentation with the government. I supervise operations to ensure that the engineering programs are being executed as intended and as planned. And I verify safety critical calculations throughout the cycle of each project. So my rig moves around the Gulf, and it moves to different fields and different projects, and that allows me to see the construction of a variety of types of wells and a variety of different downhole circumstances and how we deal with those. So I'm getting hands-on field experience where I'm working with people who are experts in operations and equipment for deepwater wells, and this has been really great for me because it has been faster and more thorough learning than I ever got in the office. I worked in the office for about a year and a half before I started my 2-year field assignment. That's how Shell does their training program. And I'm just able to ask questions in real time from people who know the answers, from people who know this equipment and these procedures in and out. And so it's just been awesome for me and awesome for my training. And also the schedule lets me travel because I have 3 weeks off at a time. And that's been really great because I love traveling. I think most of us do. So why do I do what I do? I think it's really cool to be able to provide something that is so critical in everyone's day-to-day life, energy. I don't think we realize how heavily we rely on it until it's taken away from us, like it was a few weeks ago in the Texas winter storms. The biggest misconception about my industry is that we have no consideration for the environment. So actually, my company invests heavily in new energies, and we believe that renewable energy is the future. We have in our goals that we want net zero carbon emissions, and our performance is actually tied directly to our reduction in our environmental footprint. So environment is a very big part of working at Shell. And offshore specifically, we work with the Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement to ensure that we're not disrupting or killing any of the marine life. And there are also very strict standards on how we dispose of things offshore and how we keep our wells intact to prevent any harm. And from all the people I've worked with, we don't just work to meet these standards, we actually want to exceed them because it's important to all of us, like on a personal level as well. So my best advice if you want to work in oil and gas is to learn the companies. So go to the info sessions, go to the lunch and learns, go to the company sponsored events. UT does a great job of setting up all of these for y'all, and I took advantage of a lot of them while I was there. And what that does is it not only allows you to see the company culture and figure out where you might want to work and what might be a best fit for you, but the company representatives also remember you. And companies love to see that you are interested in them on a deeper level than just applying for an interview. While I was at UT, one of the things that I think had the biggest impact on me and where I am today was I did a study abroad program in Toulouse, France. The course was called Engineering Standards and Industrial Policy in a Global Environment. And what it taught me is it taught me to work with people of different cultures, and also helped me learn to communicate with people whose language, background, or maybe even just their communication style is really different than mine. And this has been really important to me because, one, I work for a global company. Shell is all over the world, and it's also a European company. But I also work on an oil rig, and out there we have people of all ages, all backgrounds, all nationalities. And to be able to communicate effectively with all of them is a really important part of me being good at my job. And so this was great for that and great for giving me that skill set. It was also my first time leaving the country, so it taught me how to make a new place feel like home. And this was major for me last year because I spent more time on a drill ship in the Gulf of Mexico than I did anywhere else. And if I had not been able to adapt to that environment, it would have been a really hard year for me. But because of the skills I picked up from study abroad and learning to adapt, I was able to thrive through it. It also, lastly, of course, it spurred my love of travel, which my current job gives me so much flexibility to do, and I'm very grateful for that. I am very grateful for all the opportunities I had at UT and where they've led me. I am very excited to see where those same opportunities can lead all of y'all. What starts here really does change the world. Hook 'em horns.